One for the day that I learned, two for the bridges you burned, three for the chances you had, and four for the bitches you bagged, and five for never being sad. No.
Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Cheyenne, and today I am going to take you through 2 different chair acro tricks that you can do. So before we start, I just wanted to explain the type of chair that I have. Mine is a simple folding chair, but for these particular acro tricks, you do need a chair that has a flat top that is nice and sturdy. My one is plastic, but if you do have a metal one, it will be even better because it's going to be able to hold more weight. With these plastic ones, I do find that they bend a little bit, but I do know that it does work for my body type. I am quite short as well. I'm 157 centimeters. When I put my pleasers on, my position does change a little bit, and I can show you that as well. So the first one that we're going to do is learning how to leg wave on the pole, and we're also going to learn how to back bend whilst on the pole. This is not a pole, it's a chair. I'm leaving this in. You can enjoy that this doesn't make sense. If I say pole, I do mean chair. I'm just used to constantly saying pole. But anyway, all right, so to start off with, we're going to go into our leg waves. So the first thing that you want to do when going onto your pole, whether you have pleasers on or you're without shoes, you want to bring the pole into your hip crease. So where you lift, that little bend right there, the chair, I'm doing great. The chair needs to go into that position. So for your hand placement, you want your hand to be at the front of your chair. This is to counteract balance. So I'm going to hold at the front of the chair, putting pressure, making sure my arms are locked out to start with. I'm then going to come back and tuck through to bring my hips onto the pole. This is for me to get into a comfortable position. If you're a little bit shorter, then you may not need to tuck because the chair might be already there for you. But if you're taller, you may need to start with your legs slightly back more, especially if you have pleasers on. Same concept, tuck and come forward into this position, okay? So from here, I'm going to tuck, pressing my hips into the chair in that little crevice, that bent position. Now, because I want to counteract my balance, as I lift my legs, I'm going to bring the chest down a little bit first, and as I lift, I'll bring it down a little bit lower. This is to kind of create a little seesaw so that I'm balanced on the chair. Now, keep in mind, once you're a little bit more confident in your balance and pressure on the pole, you may not need to bring your chest down at all, but this is if you're just starting out and you don't know how to do these, or you may want to teach it in your own classes. So you want to be able to give these options for your students or just for yourself. So hands at the front, hips on. I'm going to bring my chest down. Now for me, I'm arching a little bit through my back while still engaging my core. This is so that the pressure is going down into the chair as opposed to having a neutral spine. If you have a neutral spine, you'll become a little bit more front heavy. So a little arch will keep the pressure going down into the center of the chair just for that little bit extra stability. Now from here, when you bring the arms down, bend the elbows into your side instead of flaring out. Because if you were to do this chair acro and say it wasn't in a routine, arms coming out, this is what it's going to look like at the front as opposed to elbows tucked. It's just that little bit cleaner. So from here, chest down. Now, what I'm going to do, when you go to lift your legs, it's super important that you extend and lock out the legs. Don't let them be lazy and try to lift in this position. Extend them and lock out so you create a nice line and extension and your body is stable. So chest down. Lifting one leg at a time, I'm going to lower, my chest a little bit more, putting pressure into the front. Now from here, this is where you can do leg waves. You can start from here, or if you're feeling more confident, you can come up into a straight arm position. This will depend on your chair and on your stability. So if I start low, elbows tucked, to go into your leg waves, we want to bend one leg at a time. Whatever leg is going down to the ground, that should be your bent leg. Whatever leg is going up to the ceiling to separate the legs, that should be your straight leg. When you go to swap that over, sorry, my arms are getting tired. When you go to swap that over, you want to bend to come down, extend to go up, and swap. Bend to come down, extend to go up. Now, you may only be able to do little ones. What you don't want to do is going swimming or kicking through the legs. If you like that, that's totally fine, but if you're wanting the longer leg waves that look a little bit more flowy, then again, a small bend, so not a super big one, just a little bend through the leg, keep the other leg locked out, extend up, both are extended now, bend the knee to go down, extend up, and bend. Now, if I'm going to come up and do this same thing, lift the chest, lock out through the elbows. To come down, one leg at a time, and then stand up. So that there is how you can do leg waves on your chair. Now we're going to go into a back bend on the chair. This can be done regardless of flexibility. However, there's a couple cues to remember to stay safe. First of all, make sure you've warmed up your back because you don't want to go into this with a cold back. The second thing is we need to keep our core and glutes engaged and not just dump into that lower back because that can cause injury or pain, and we want to protect our backs, especially as we get older. So to do this, it's the exact same setup. Tuck through the hips and hands down. Now, as we go up and over, I'm going to lower my chest down. For me, I like to look down to the ground so that I keep a neutral spine from my head down. You can turn your neck, but if it does feel uncomfortable, keep your head looking down. Now, elbows are going to stay tucked in this position, and as I bring my legs up and over, I'm going to squeeze my glutes and core. Hands at the front of the chair, feet behind, tuck, get the hips on, find your sweet spot. Now from here, I'm going to lower my chest. You can do this from the leg wave position I just taught before, but we're just going to go straight into it for now. So I bring my chest down and I'm going to lift leg, legs locked. So I'm in a kind of plank position. Now I'm going to drop through my lower back and chest a little bit more. From here, I'm going to squeeze my glutes so that I'm not dumping too much through the lower back and bring my feet towards my head, lifting my head up a little bit. To come out, extend both legs straight, push up through the chest, putting pressure to that front of the chair, and step down. Now, if you've got heels on, keep in mind, especially if you've got pleasers on, keep in mind that you may hit your head if you are quite flexible in that lower back. So just be cautious, don't go into it too quick and knock yourself out. But like I said, it's super important that when you are doing your chair trick in this back bend position, you squeeze your glutes and engage your core and upper body. It is a little bit hard to squeeze core in this outstretched position, but you want to try as much as you can so that you're not dumping into that lower back, causing injury. So that there is how we do our leg waves and our back bend. I'm going to show you quickly how you can put it together. So I'm just going to go into that same position, hips into the pole, into the chair. Again, I said pole, but this is a chair. So from here, I'm going to lower, lift, and wave. 1, 2. To go into my back bend, I'm going to extend both legs, chest down, look down to the ground, squeeze my glutes, up, to come out, extend, step down. And there it is.